Welcome back to the Sip2Tally Preseason Power Rankings. I'm your host, Coach Evans, and today we're going to take a look at our number 2017. But before we get into number 27, we're going to recap teams 32 through 28. Panthers were 32, Browns 31, Cowboys 30, Dolphins 29, Titans 28. And as normal, I'm going to kind of recap the numbers for the Titans since they were the last episode. 25 at quarterback, 22 at running back, 28 at receiver, 20 at tight end, offensive line 20, defensive line age group 15, linebackers 29, cornerbacks 15, and safety 25. That gave them a 22.11111 and made the Titans the number 2018 on the Sip2Tally preseason power rankings for 2025. Now, let's talk about team number 27 before I reveal who they are. They're one of the most iconic franchises in the NFL. They hadn't been very relevant in a while. But when I tell you the motto, everybody would know who they are. And the motto was, and maybe still is, just win, baby. The Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders have bounced around from Oakland to LA to Oakland, now in Las Vegas, and it looks like they're going to be in Las Vegas for a while because Vegas is starting to come up on the sports scene. But let's talk about the Las Vegas Raiders and what they have for 2025 coming up. We'll start with the draft picks. Picked probably one of the most explosive running backs to come out of college football in a long time, Ashton Jeanty. I think he's going to be an immediate starter, an immediate impact, and he's definitely one of the rookies that I gave some credence to in this year's power rankings. So Ashton Jeanty at 6, Jack Besh in the second round at 58. Emerging wide receiver out of TCU. Had a great Senior Bowl. Also had some tragedy strike. I think it was New Year's with his brother and what happened in New Orleans. So that's part of Jack Besh's story. If you don't know, go look it up. One of the cornerbacks that I really liked coming out of the draft cycle, they got Darren Porter from Iowa State. Caleb Rogers, offensive lineman from Texas Tech. Charles Grant, an offensive lineman from William & Mary. Seems like a theme there. Then they got one of the fastest kids in college football, Deontay Thornton. Deontay Thornton's like 6'5", ran a 4.3. But in that wonky Tennessee system, it's hard to kind of judge him. Tunker Hemingway from South Carolina. They got J.J. Pegues from Mississippi to pair with their defensive line, which I like that as well. And they got two quarterbacks, Tommy Mullet, Cam Miller, and then they drafted linebacker Cody Lindenberg out of Minnesota in the 7th round. All right, let's get into the offensive side of the ball for the Raiders. In the quarterback room, Geno Smith, who they got from Seattle, Aiden O'Connell, who started, some last year, Cam Miller, and Carter Bradley. I like Geno. I really, really like Geno and what he was able to put on tape for the past 2 years. Why they got rid of him, I do not know, but especially for what they got back. But him and Aiden O'Connell, I think, is a good 1-2 combination for the Raiders, in case Geno goes down for a certain period of time or whatnot. But I think Aiden's a good backup. So I can give you the ratings in a minute. I almost slipped up. Running back, Ashton Jeanty, who I just talked about, in detail a little bit. But as a backup to Ashton Jeanty, they got Rasheem Mostert from the Dolphins. One of the fastest guys in the NFL, even though he's 30-ish right now. It might be a little older than 30. Let me see. Still one of the fastest guys in the league. Raheem's 33. Wow. Still got Zamir White on the roster. I don't know what they're going to do with that, but their running back room is pretty good, in my opinion. Jeanty, Mostert, McCormick, and Zamir White. I like that running back room as a whole. Wide receiver, Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker, Jack Besh, Deontay Thornton. Not a lot of names that you recognize in that wide receiver room. Jacoby going to have to step up big time, and Jack's going to have to step up big time. Thornton's going to be big time, but their number one receiver is not a receiver. It's the tight end. And 1,194 yards, but only 5 TDs. And I would put that on quarterback play mostly. Offensive line. Colton Miller, Dylan Parham, JPJ, Alex Cappa, DJ Glaze. They're building the offensive line. As you see, they drafted 2 offensive linemen this time as well. JPJ will probably finally get a full season under him. Miller is pretty good. And once they build, I think they'll be better. But once JPJ finally gets the whole camp in, because he was hurt last year as a rookie, gets the whole camp in and gets the nuances of the position on down in the NFL level, I think they'll be a lot better than up front than they were in the past. So let me give you the rankings for each individual group. Quarterback, I have them 10. Like I said, I really liked Geno Smith and Aiden O'Connell in that room, so I got them at 10. Running back at 17. I gave Ashton Jeanty some credit, but he can't get too much credit because he ain't doing it on the field yet. But I like Ashton Jeanty. I like Raheem Mostert, and I think Zamir White won't be on the team soon. I think they'll either cut him or trade him a little bit on down the line. But the 1-2 punch of Jeanty and Mostert got them up to 17. Wide receivers, I have them at 32. Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker, Jack Besh. That's their projected starters. It's going to be tough on Geno and Aiden O'Connell. Brock Bowers may have to get another 100 catches, and Michael Mayer may have to get 50. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. And Thornton may start too. You might be looking at 2 rookie starters. You might be looking at Jacoby Myers, Jack Besh, and Deontay Thornton as their starters. If you got 2 rookies starting, 32. I'm sorry. But tight end, 9. Again, I told you I like Jack Bowers and Michael Mayer. If Michael Mayer had been able to do more, even though he didn't get a lot of attempts, they probably would be higher. But Brock Bowers, on the strength of Brock Bowers, I got them 9. Michael Mayer is counted in there, but Brock Bowers is the main reason. Is 80% of the reason why they're number 9 right there. Offensive line, I have them at 24. Growing. They're growing. It's the biggest question mark for them, but they're growing. Let's talk about the defensive side. Try to stay on time today. Defensively, for the Las Vegas Raiders. Let me get my finger in the right spot. All right. Christian Wilkins. Put the geese in there working with Christian Wilkins when he gets the chance. Kuntz will be back, who a guy that they really, really missed. 2 years ago, when Max Crosby was getting off, Kuntz started to dominate with like a sack in 9 straight games, but then he was hurt last year, so they didn't have that option as well. But Wilkins, Kuntz, and Wilson is not a bad combination up front. When you go to their linebackers, Roberts, Eldon Roberts, and Jermaine Pratt. They got Jermaine Pratt. Pratt's not on this thing. I also got Devin White, because Pratt was picked up after I made this this graphic. The combination of those 3 will be good. I think it'll end up being Pratt and White, and Roberts will be the odd man out. But not bad. Not bad. They're better at the linebacker spot after picking up Pratt. Now, in the defensive backfield, let's look at cornerbacks first. I like the fact that they drafted Darian Porter, but he's a rookie. You look at Darnay Holmes and Eric Stokes, who are average cornerbacks. So that cornerback room is not great, especially if you're going to depend on a rookie to be one of your main outside corners, and not like a first round rookie. Porter was drafted later on in the draft. He wasn't a first round rookie. So bear with him on the back end as far as the cornerback position. Then you go to safety. You got Jeremy Chin and you got Isaiah Polamalu. Chin is basically a linebacker. So what he's gonna give you in the pass game, I don't think is much as far as defending the pass. But he basically a linebacker. He'll help me in the run game a lot. And let me see. Say I say it again. Isaiah Polamalu would be your free safety, who is not very good at this point. So let's take a look at the rankings, and you can kind of get it where from the tone of my voice, these rankings ain't gonna be good on the defensive side. Defensive line edge group. While I love Crosby and I think he's one of the best edge guys in the league, the rest of them guys didn't produce, and Kuntz was injured last year, so we don't know what they're gonna get. Even with Christian Wilkins in there, early in the season, even against the Ravens, they dominated, but they fell off. So I'm not a big fan of the production that their front four gave up front. Now there's potential there, but we all know potential will get you fired. So those guys got to live up to that potential as well, especially adding Pegues into that mix, and Tonka Hemingway for that matter. Linebackers, 22. This was, I'm gonna be honest with you, this was done before Pratt went there. So that 22 ranking didn't factor in Pratt. And so with player movement happening after I started, I'm not gonna change it. So with the projection of Roberts and White, that's why their linebacker number is 22. Cornerback room, I don't like it at all. Now I like Porter, and I hope Porter has a good season, but as a whole, I think you can get these corners. And then your safeties, Jeremy Chin, I like what he does in the run game. And he's carrying this safety group, in my opinion, because even though I said Chin's basically a linebacker, he can play pass a little bit, but in the run game, he is spectacular, and defending stuff in the box, maybe like tight ends and stuff like that, he's spectacular. But putting him on the hash and letting him do deep down the field stuff, average at best. So when you take all those numbers, add them together, and divide them by 9, you get a 21.66667. And that's why the Las Vegas Raiders are your number 27 team on the Sip2Tally Power Rankings today. So, like, comment, subscribe, share. Put in the comments whether you think it's too high, too low, or if they're just right on the Raiders. And let me know who you think is going to be number 26 on tomorrow's countdown. I'll see y'all later, man. Peace and love.